So let's get into Gabrio versus Magicdoer1. This is a match in the bronze division here in SCL, and we're going to pull up the picks and bans and start chatting about them. So we
Yeah,
have,
well,
go ahead.
no, go for it.
We have a library ban from Gabrio and a Taen ban from Magicdoer. We have the high rise getting restricted from Gabrio and balcony from Magicdoer1. And then our picks are going to be doubled aquarium and doubled ballroom. And then our singles here to finish it out will be balcony and redwoods.
Yeah, when you look at the picks that have actually come through, and you think about maps that are more normal versus maps that are a bit more extreme, we're going to be looking at double aquarium, balcony, and redwoods. There's a lot of room for shenanigans here just with this setup that we're looking at.
Yeah, ballroom weirdly enough is the odd one out, but the better the cast, the more the shenanigans, right?
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get to the redwoods. At this point, redwoods has become a bit normalized. We're used to the trees. But if it does come down to like a game 11, game 12 situation, trying to shoot through the trees is going to be real interesting. I wonder if we're going to get a real tense situation where you just can't see what you're doing. But we're going to start off with aquarium, which has the same issue actually. There's a big shark in the way if you're not familiar. And if we're all loaded up, I'm looking at Gabrio here as Taft in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You good to go, Corvus?
Good to go.
Yeah, it took us a moment, but we'll get there. And let's do this in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Gabrio stutter steps straight off the bookcase to go to statues. Usually you do that to avoid going to statues, but we're here anyways, and it's going to be an inspect to start. Any thoughts on just the matchup here, Catnip? Who do you think is the favorite?
Uh, Considering Magicdoer was one of the people I lost against in my placement match, I probably would say him.
Yeah, and based on the standings, I think that's likely the same read that everybody else will be making. Matadors had a more successful season, though Gabrio does have, I think, 3 wins under their belt going into this match. So both players are playing pretty well, and this one may well have implications for winning the division or at least getting into the tournament of placement. Gabrio's done his 34% flirt. We're going in for the second inspect now. We've got to be like on the top of the list of people who need to be watched just because anybody who does 2 inspects, that's a full mission. It's very obvious to the sniper because of the highlight.
That's true. On the other hand, I always think like perhaps it's better to finish those early, because then towards the end of the game, there's more chance they would be forgotten, and it's like why do, especially if the sniper highlights for something more than only statues.
Gabrio gets zoomed in here on a weird choice to go next to the ambassador. It's hard to say here as a caster if Gabrio was trying to bug and just didn't end up clicking the button, or is really going for a play and hoping that, look at me, I'm not bugging, but I'm making a really weird choice, might cop a low light. Not that I think Magicdoer is necessarily like the most aggressive low lighter in the game in any sense.
Yeah, in my head it was actually I want a bug, but then oh hey, lasers on me, I'd better not. Um, Whichever is the case, seems where you didn't even go into a progress the flirt, and instead we just finished the drink right away.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 minutes left on the clock. We're about halfway done with our aquarium, and the inspects are going to help with our pacing. A lot of the other missions that we have left, things like contact. Oh, that's a cough. Lasers coming over to us, but doesn't look willing to shoot. There's a lot of lowlights in the middle conversation, which is where I think their eyes must have been. And the laser did consider shooting Gabrio. I think Gabrio's in a real tough spot, though. It's going to be hard to finish our fourth mission. We might finish our flirt, potentially, but I'm not sure how we're going to get away with something like a swap, a bug, or a purloin with really one of few highlights and, as far as I can tell, some pretty clear suspicion.
Yeah, and even with the flirt, if this was our last flirt, then yes, that mission may be okay, but it's only the second one, so now it would be, considering we're under high suspicion, it's gonna be even easier for Magic Duer to pair.
If there was
Um,
any doubt about our suspicion, the zoom in comes in as soon as Ambassador steps up to the spy. Often when the Ambassador comes to you as a spy, that's something that you might be more likely to get away with a bug. But Magicdoer does not want to give Gabrio any chance. I think Gabrio's best chance here might be just a civilian getting shot. These AI at the back statues are really quite annoying as a sniper in the last 30 seconds on gallery. Not gallery,
yeah,
aquarium.
and it's not even enough time to delegate, so I think, we Proline on the, or no, we don't, never mind. But I almost would have even wanted to Proline on the spot, because there just feels not enough time for a reasonable delegate.
We've delegated to Boots, who's decided to not give herself cover. We're gonna get shot for the bug, but Gabrio's dancing here. The problem with this dance is Taft is not a small boy. We're trying to hide behind Twin. If it was the other way around, if it was Twin hiding behind Taft, I think we might have had a shot, but that isn't gonna work out. Gabrio bailing on the Purloin plan, thinking that that's just never gonna work, and does take, I think, maybe a percentage play. I never thought Gabrio's chances to win this game were particularly high, but uh, bug and dance here almost
Was
worked.
not the answer, yeah.
It it wasn't the answer, but I don't think there really was an answer. So good shot there by Magicdoer, achieving the one thing that we don't think about much in Spy Party, which is like the mechanical sniper play. And now he gets to play as mom here on Aquarium 1-0 up in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Drink in hand, so there's no true shenanigans coming through, and we're just in a conversation with actually nobody of interest.
Yeah, Ambassador was there, so we may have been lining up for a bug. Unfortunately, he went towards the bookcases rather than towards the around the conversation where we could have gotten it.
Magicdoer's eyeing up the seduction target. It looks like instead of doing the flirt though, we're going in. This is a swap. Is that an action priority, or are we just
I
really feeling ourselves there, Magicdoer? That's interesting at best. I think bad at worst.
I would like to say it was an action test, but an action test mishap. The Salmon came to the next one pretty much right away, but it may be just um a spicy choice.
One of the blessings here, and this might have been the reason Magicdoer did end up swapping, is there were a lot of people in that back left corner. People like Salmon Danger and Red Dress here, who we're now sitting next to in our attempt to flirt with Pearls, could be credited here in the future. It doesn't look like Gabrio's reacted to the swap particularly aggressively, if at all.
Yeah, I would even potentially argue that the swap is missed, or at least no signs are shown. We do have the first flirt, but I almost feel like we're a little bit behind. Or not.
There goes the shot. It's on Salmon Danger, who was on that short list I mentioned of people who were near the statue at the time that the swap happened. They did also end up near the ambassador at the end of the game, and I believe they also did another statue. It may have just looked like a really hard rush from Gabrio perspective. And Magidor is now up 2-0. I'm going to take one moment here. I'm not actually on caster mode. Give me a hot second.
So yeah, Salmon did have another statue visit afterwards before going to the bookcase. And he was at the same set of statues that we swapped. So in case swap was seen, it potentially could have been misplaced for Salmon as well. Let's see what else was happening.
To note
Uh,
while you're looking at that, Magidor is mentioning that this swap was intentional.
there we go. Okay. The thing is, Salmon went to the bookcase while Ambassador was there, so a bug suspicion may have very well been in order in addition to the statue visits.
Yeah, so we got Gabriel here on the spy side now, down 2-0, 0-2, and needs to win this one really. Going down 3-0 against someone that you're not favored against is going to be real rough. We are starting to hear the ambassador, and 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And especially on your double pick of the map.
Oh, absolutely. Here we go. There's the spice that isn't questionable. Chaos bugs are always good, not always advisable, but they are always good. Gabrio also starting another game here with an early statue, early highlight, but this one might look a lot more favorable with the bug in pocket.
Yeah, and I think after that path to take the bug, you either go to the statues or to the window.
Yeah, the problem with going to the statues here is you are always going to get highlight for going to the
Yeah.
statue. You're never going to know as Gabrio if you were highlight for the bug or highlight for the bug or not highlight for the bug and just highlight for the statues. Gabrio has a real awkward path there. Kind of almost looked AI-like, and then he just didn't really sell it. So now we're just chilling here in probably the most spy-like spot on the map. If Ambassador comes nearby, this is where mid-shark shenanigans happen, though Ambassador is nice and safe in a different conversation at the moment.
Oh well, he's almost okay. He was almost moving through there. At this point, I we need for progress. There we go.
This is how you do it. This is going to be another inspect and flirt. We're going to flirt before pickup, which isn't ethically perfect, but I think almost necessary if we're going to actually get this flirt. Red test on the inspect, but it shouldn't matter. We only need one. We're just going to end up doing 2 cycles instead. And Gabrio's in a fine spot here, mission progress wise. I assume, similar to the first game, that Magicdoer is on this, and it's going to need to be something clever from Gabrio, or the bug just needs to be completely unacknowledged.
Yeah, it did seem that the bug was not missed. We still were looking at the ambassador right after it
Banana
happened.
bread.
So if Gabriel gets his last two flirts, I think he's gonna take this.
Yeah, Gabrio doesn't hit the green test on the banana bread. If this was a marginal decision there from Magicdoer, that might have been the reason for the shot, but the shot hasn't come off. Really, the only reason we would die now is if we struggle to do our flirt, or we get credited with a bug here just for being near the ambassador. Gabriel going for a very conservative, just going straight into the conversation instead of curling around past the ambassador, acknowledging that that is one of the ways that they could just lose this game currently.
Yeah, we
Seduction
don't even
target.
get that far flirt, unfortunately, because the
Um,
seduction target leaves.
there's a long line at bar. We can definitely meet our seduction target there. The problem is what could possibly happen after this. We're stepping away from the seduction target. We do not want to be seen inside them. Big green flirt here, 83%. Seduction target, by definition, is going to go somewhere else. We can either take the drink and go follow them or not. But we know that they're going to go, they can't go to a statue. They can't do a lot of the things that are dangerous because the seduction target just put a drink in their hand. We should be good to go most of the time, barring like a really untimely briefcase from the seduction target.
Yeah, if Magicdoer is on it, the chase could be noticed and could be traced. But at this point, I think we're just quite out of time to do anything else. Instead, we're going somewhere else. We're gonna spawn?
Yeah, so we did like a briefcase cancel or something, but then we completely failed to sell it. Now we're just in a conversation. Seduction target is not the one who leaves. That was Disney. We're gonna stop talk it. This will be overtime. The shot's gonna come off, and it's ooh. Gabrio moves not close enough in time. Another situation where Matador is precise enough on their shot, and they're up 3-0 here on Gabrio's pick. It's not a good spot here if you're Gabrio.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just thinking, was Magic Doer just more subtle regarding his suspicion on Gabriel on Oprah, or was it just that talk? So I think it was quite likely that if we don't do the statue path cancel, we could have taken as was just normal flirt without the overtime.
I completely agree. The path might also have been suspicious there. The problem
True.
with that path is it's also not a mission. You're not going to get shot for it. You're going to get shot for the next thing you do, even if that is just talking in a conversation. Okay, one more game of Aquarium. Gabriel needs to show some life here, or we're going to be down 4-0. Magicdoer playing Rocker in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and we have Magicdoer confirming in chat once again that a bug was missed, but the shot happened because it was a good overtime shot in terms of what was going on.
Yep, just doing the path there straight to the seduction target would have done the trick with that knowledge, and obviously we come from the high ground. We know everything as the casters just because we also had the arrows above the heads. Be
Yes.
much easier for the sniper if there's just a green arrow saying, "Hey, here's the spy you're looking for, by the way," or the tutorial name tag. We just had the "I'm a spy." I think Smallman could probably still win in Tayan with an "I'm a spy" name tag.
I would not put it past it. Speaking of Smallman, he's not being very suspicious. However, we aren't suspicious at all either, I'd say. We do have a good green flirt at 51%. We do have the blue book in hand, which makes me, and us positioning in that conversation makes
Banana
me
bread.
think we may return incorrectly. We do have fake banana bread.
The banana bread is actually going to pay off. The STA who was in our conversation left, which makes it look like if any suspicion would come on for us for the banana bread, we shouldn't be credited with it. The low shark's coming. If we're gonna be doing the microfilm behind the shark, it's gonna be in the next 40 seconds or so. Yeah, here it comes. Magicdoer is going to move to the bookcase now, and the shark's gonna move in as we're putting the book back into the bookcase. Uh, it's not fully covered like this. Could have been a bit cleaner, but the idea is there, and Magicdoer is trying to play Aquarium the way that the shark intended. I'm not sure necessarily the developer intended, but the shark definitely wants you to do microfilms.
Yeah, and I think the fact that we spent a good time in that conversation was our sort of insurance policy in case we cannot fully rely on the shark, or just to add to that. We do have the full flirt now as well. We still need 2 more missions, and we have 140 to go. Aside from banana bread, that we could potentially do nowish again. What else are we gonna go for?
It's gonna be bug. The Magicdoer just spammed the log here. He just doing a
Banana
little
bread.
shuffle back. We're gonna do banana bread, hoping that it kind of covers for the ambassador coming by, because this is gonna be a reverse drive-by attempt. Ambassador is just still there, but the attempt still stands. Magicdoer is lining it up. Here comes the bug. It doesn't stick. That's rough. We did everything we possibly could to prepare for that bug, and the bug still did not land. That's just truly unfortunate.
Very much indeed. We may have another chance here. No, we don't. Um,
This is gonna be
Probably
a problem.
Perlin at this point.
Yeah, so one option that we have, though I don't think most spies will go for it, is go to the ambassador, take the drink right after them, and pinch the briefcase. It would be incredibly tight timing. The problem with ambassador at this point is they're safe, and we can't really guarantee that they're going to go anywhere more dangerous. Uh, they could go just one of the windows, and bug is completely off the table. Yeah,
And
like exactly what's happened. We don't really have bug as an option. It's gonna need to be purloin, and it's gonna need to be direct purloin. Uh, this is gonna be very late on the clock too. Oh, never mind. The time pressure, the beeping gets to Gabrio. What was the shot for? Let's find out.
I'm trying. She
It must have
was
just
in
been
the
flirt. There's
she
nothing
was in
else
the
going on.
conversation for both banana breads. For the first one. Rather. She had a briefcase, a statue visit,
Yeah, it's
and that's it.
the last mission had to be flirt. There was just nothing else going on in that conversation. And I think that's just the beeping and the pressure of the situation getting to Gabrio, because that shot isn't high percentage. That shot is not going to be the spy very often, even if it is sometimes the spy, just because spies do like to finish with flirt sometimes. Um, this shot comes off and it prevents us from having the opportunity to see what is a very ham-fisted purloin. Purloin in the last 10 seconds on Aquarium is about as spy-like as it gets. and that we're not watching Carlos or not watching Rocker here for the purloin, and instead shooting someone for being in conversation. That's rough. Um,
Yeah.
or
Um.
Gabrio tells me Phantom Swap, which is also bad. Don't
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
there we go. That will definitely make you shoot someone.
Yeah, and when I say ham-fisted, I'm not criticizing Magicdoer. That cast was rough at the end there because we just lost all opportunities to bug after we didn't get that reverse drive-by. I'm not sure what necessarily the best action was, maybe just getting the delegate a bit sooner or something, but uh, either way, extending the game does work out for Magicdoer, and they're up 4-0.
Yeah.
Gabrio hasn't been playing poorly, but they're down 4-0, and they're going to need to do something to fix that. It's going to be Spice Out and Ballroom, which is a place you can do that. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So, with this kind of result, one should also probably think about the nerves on the spot, which is gonna be a bit more likely, to phantom a swap or do other things. So hopefully Gabriel can just collect himself and put a a good foot forward.
Yeah, so often in this situation where you see someone down in a set, uh, there's really two ways that you see it go. They either become more aggressive, which for Gabriel, he was already doing quite a few missions on the aquarium games, or they become more passive. Both can work out, but really, at the end of the day, changing your gameplay from what is your bread and butter is always going to be questionable. Like you can definitely argue that maybe you should just be playing the best spy party that you can, but that rarely happens. We're human. To
Yeah, and it's
Purloin here, instead, Gabrio's just gone with the latter of the two things I mentioned. They're done nothing, including flirt, though I don't think there's been many opportunities unless we wanted to meet the seduction target at a uh,
so
at a bookshelf or a mission site.
yeah, our
Instead,
seduction target hasn't been friendly to us in that way. And I think, yeah, Gabriel was quite active and he got shot for those, so it's natural that now he's a little bit more calm and patient. We still need something. The party isn't that helpful. I see Disney being at statues. I don't think anyone else been at statues before.
there's been a lot of like Smallman's done statues, Boots has done
Banana bread.
statues.
Oh,
This banana bread isn't gonna do anything. The true double agent was out, and we had the bad
Banana bread.
unluck of the SDA being out. The second banana bread looks real suspicious. There are two big glow lights on some of our highlights, but someone like Rocker looks a lot more suspicious now. And over on the other side, we have Alice in orange dress, who also this just looks like I did a fake banana bread, and then the second one came as they came into conversation because that happened with both the DA and the SDA.
yeah. We finally get our flirt here, and we take a book. Hopefully, we do something with it. Just because time wise, we need to hurry. I think we still need a time at.
Yeah, because Gabrio went with a very passive start, especially compared to their double inspect start on Aquarium on both games. We are incredibly low for time. We're gonna continue trying to finish. That's very bold. Um, Laser comes on to us. Okay, this is all
Oh,
very choice. We did walk away with the book entirely. Um, are we
yeah,
trying to
we don't.
frame Taft or something for like a red test? This is all very weird. Time ad's gonna help. The slow beeping's really rough as a sniper, but oh, there goes the highlight, and there goes a bug that honestly
So
should be caught. If you just highlight them 2 seconds ago, you should be more suspicious and not allow just random walking bugs to work.
yeah, I would have thought the book was seen, and we can see Magicdoer being a little bit unsure of what to do. We may have taken that book out thinking we weren't noticed there, or just making Magicdoer think that we took the book from there and now we are returning it correctly.
Yeah, we have
That may have
13
been the
seconds though. It's gonna be a run across the map. It's not gonna matter. Magicdoer takes the shot and is patient enough to wait till the book is put back in the bookcase, which I appreciate. That's just precise play. Uh, Gabrio going for something we've seen more often on Gallery, which is taking a book out, taking it to the other bookcase, and then walking away as if you were uh, always at that bookcase, or like the double book pull is also another play that we see on Gallery. Doing it on Ballroom's interesting and doesn't pay off. Magicdoer is not going to allow this to happen. Now up 5-0. Why are we watching this set? There's something exciting coming, and I'm scared for it. I'm scared for Magicdoer, just having that caster premonition that something bad happens when you're up 5-0 and the set has been pushed for casting. Magicdoer are gonna play some Taft. We'll see if we can bring it to 6-0 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, if you see your set for Magicdoer, I think I'm happy for Gabrio, because the score at the moment isn't nice. So I like seeing at least a little bit of something on both.
Oh yeah, if we can watch more Spy Party, I'll take that over less Spy Party. We're going for the old Gabrio, the early side statue here to start. Magicdoer mad because he just did a green swap. I think he'll take the green over the white potentially. If he was trying to do a cheesy swap to start the game and accidentally green, that's hilarious. Uh, let's see who's going to go to it. Oh, we're just going to go full rush. We've given up on any sense of decency. We're going full rush, and the fourth mission is going to be
And
bug.
and the bug. Oh goodness gracious!
Gabrio's
We get caught for the
Gabrio's done with it.
bug.
I wonder what he caught though. There's so many options.
I mean, the swab hadn't gone off yet. All right, but Purloin had just happened into a bug. Well, I was about to say that I think this is the match that the game that we're seeing this match for, and then the shot happened.
Just looking at the clock, it's 2:34. For the record, ballroom starts at 3:30. So we were gonna finish the game in less than a minute if Gabriel was kind enough to not shoot us. Gabriel, however, is done with this losing thing and is now 5-1. Gets to play some more ballroom in. Let's do it with general in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I like the attempt. You're up 5-0. You've done a swap that doesn't seem like you did it the way that you wanted to do. I'm not sure if he was intending to white swap or if he just wasn't intending to swap entirely. And then going and clicking all the buttons. I think that's a good decision. Now we just need to not allow it to get to our head. If you're a Magic Doer, you went, oh no, I made a mistake. It's my first mistake all set. It doesn't mean that you're going to make more, and there's no reason you should change your mindset because everything you had with your mindset prior to that loss was working. You're up 5-0. Of course it's working.
Yeah. Right now we're not working enough, seeing as there is quite some time past and no mission progress. Seems we're about to start that and correct that, so which is nice. But no, our Steel leaves us. Oh goodness.
Gabriel's had some pathing issues. Um, like it's just not been the pathing you'd expect from someone as veteran as Gabriel. I'm not sure if maybe something's going on, or if he's just really trying to like lean into do bad paths, get low lights. That's not Magic Doer's style. Magic Doer is not giving out low lights for I think almost anything other than banana bread.
Yeah, I think so. But then on the other hand, even if you're not giving away lowlights, if someone is more likely to be AI, you at least that's sometimes what I do, right? I remember that that's unlikely. So there's that, and you're not gonna monitor them for visiting a statue. So like, oh, that was something suspicious, but earlier he did a very AI thing. So there's a lot of potential logic going on.
Okay, Gabriel's going back to the fake banana breads. Like I said there, we haven't seen much in lowlights from Magic Doer. We do see highlights here. He's highlighting Kane for what would have been a real banana bread. So Gabriel's attempts to keep the game open for a frame might still be successful. The attempts to finish the missions are rough. We have 82% flirt and nothing else on the board. If you're gonna finish in this sort of spot, you're looking at things like Inspect Swap. You're looking at things like
Banana bread.
Banana Bread, Purloin. We could see that right now. Actually, Toby's coming to us. Uh, Here comes the
Okay, we
Purloin
are
coming
doing
and
Purloin,
a
and
Green
it's
Chest.
blue. Okay.
The lovely thing about a Banana Bread Purloin here is it does also mean that someone's much more likely to get shot, including Kane, who just rejected, but it also helps us finish. It works in two different ways, both in Gabrio's favor.
Yeah, we still need the fourth mission, and it seems we're just gonna go center statues. Yeah, I think that's likely to get a shot, but for now we just get a highlight. So
The
perhaps
chain's
we're
still going. This chain is still going. The Purloin is still pending. We're being watched for the swap, which is actually really nice because it's distracting from the actual Purloin if it ever happens. Alice is now the sixth person to be offered, and there goes the list. Who's going to be shot? Is it going to be Gabrio? We were so long ago. It's just going to be assumed white and shoot the person who took the list. Gabrio gets another win on the board. Don't call it a comeback. Ooh, yeah. If you're looking for what is the luckiest way to play Spy Party, just randomly do a Purloin and then just never see the list disappear. Is really the most you can ask for. I think Gabrio needed a bit of fortune.
Yes.
If they're gonna win this set, it's gonna need to be both a bit of luck and a lot of skill at the same time. Magicdoer, gotta have something to say for it. And three, two, one, playing it.
And I think it may be one of those cases where that correct shot for the attempted rush. Oh, you would have taken this bug here, wouldn't you?
Oh, I would have clicked the button 5 times already. I would have also
Yeah.
been mad about not getting the bug and then taken this bug, just walking by the ambassador if I didn't get the bug originally.
There we
Uh,
go.
Magicdoer goes for the bug here, which, I mean, to be fair, I also would have done. Uh, but Ambassador goes the other direction, so we still have not gotten our magical reverse drive-by that we've been looking for all set at this point.
We do get the flirt instead, which is still nice. And doesn't seem that any that was there
Uh,
an
he
another
microfilmed.
country?
He did hit the green, which green microfilms
Yeah.
are quite hard to catch. But I think being kind of just next to someone in the bookcase, and Gabriel was kind of always holding the angle, gave
Yeah, you
Gabriel a
can
bit of
see the
chance.
hand.
And Gabriel just wants to get back to playing Spy. Spy's been going well for him recently, so uh, taking the quick shot on the microfilm, now down 5-3, with Balcony and Redwoods coming up. If you're Magic Doer, I mean, one of these maps you chose, it's your fault, but these are not the maps you want to see when you have a lead. You want to see something where you're like, okay, we're going to play some library. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to win. Not Balcony where you go, I'm going to flip a coin and I'll decide if it's heads or tails in the air. Let's watch some boots here on Balcony in three, two, one, playing it.
The boot, scoot, and buggy. Um. Oh, how
Yeah,
lovely for RST to come right next to us.
Banana bread.
quick banana bread. We hit the green again. Gabrio, I think one of the biggest things that's improved about his game this season, from what I've noticed, is he's hitting a few more greens than he used to. Gabrio used to have a lot of trouble with at least that mechanical part of the game. Today, the only issue I've seen is just a bit of pathing. We've also hit the 51% flirt. Gabrio doesn't really have like a brilliant spot to go back into in the conversation to just three green the game. I think he might agree. Briefcase is a really smart choice here. I think
Yeah.
it's probably the correct thing to do as an AI, and also gives us the chance to continue the opportunity to have the three green game.
Oh, and even taking a sip before returning. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think Gabrio's become more wily over time.
Ooh,
This
this.
is a path. Okay, 85%. We still haven't eaten a highlight, which is nice. There's people who are more suspicious than us. I think Rocker's likely to die here, even without our help. And yeah, there goes another highlight on Alice. We're still fine. Uh, we should be able to talk this out as long as the seduction target doesn't leave or we don't cause overtime. I think Gabriel's in a really good spot here, and on balcony, that's a lot to ask for.
Yeah, I very much agree. That first green flirt helped a lot. Now we don't have to be close, and I really don't think we're getting shot for a tog here.
Yeah, there we go.
There
Alice,
we go.
I think it was probably with Smallman, but it could have also been with Salmon. Just getting credited there for the flirt. And it all makes sense. We all know what Seduction Target was up to because she went into conversation. She was presumably talking left to go to the window where we met her, went back into conversation and talked twice. Like, that's 3 flirts, and she was talking during the banana bread. Shot makes complete sense. Don't hate
Yeah.
Magicdoer for it. But Gabrio was probably going to win that game either way.
So, hey Noob, remember back in the day, long time ago, when it was 5-0 Magic Doer winning?
Oof.
Now it's
Don't, re-
5-4.
don't remind me. I'm,
Yeah.
there's 2 things we support here as in the Ponu Club. It's spies and underdogs. And right now, Gabrio is the sniper, so he's lost that. Magidor almost feels like the underdog. The momentum is going the wrong direction for him. And now we're playing some orange dress here with Taft. This is probably about as meta as it gets on balcony. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Gabriel was the one to pick balcony, so he probably gets half a point back at you both of swords.
Ugh, picking
No?
balcony.
Okay.
No. Balcony
Never
is a
mind.
funny. Um, the problem with I have a balcony is in part I have to cast it, and we have to talk about what is only 2 missions. I guess they could do bug, but they never do bug. Like this is a good bugging spot, but Ambassador's gonna move, and now we don't have a bug. We do have a low light though. This is very aggressive stuff from Gabrio. That path's awful. That path's absolutely awful. Sorry. But it's fine because we're low lit.
Yeah, I don't think we have a low light though.
Oh, absolutely not. There's no reason to
Yeah.
believe that, as far as I can tell. Um,
Yeah, some buggable movements, but we had a drink in that hand. And Gabriel sees that we have the drink in that hand, so it's okay.
from this spot, as like as a caster, we know that Magicdoer has this game in the hand unless he does something like cough. Especially if Seduction Target's going to be that friendly to us. Magicdoer still being polite about it. I guess Double Agent could not come into conversation for a while, but the AI seem to like to go from windows to conversation. They don't often go windows to windows to windows and mess up your day. Okay, Magicdoer, just don't cough. You've got this game in the bag. You could even ignore the action test.
Okay.
You need to do it now before the double agent leaves, though, after she takes a drink.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though we have one person out, we need to
Okay,
do it
we're fine.
kinda now.
White test, not helpful, but it's fine. This should be Magidor up 6-4. I can't imagine the shot. If the shot's going to come on anybody, it should be Smallman talking in the back. Another
Yeah,
talk
and
from Smallman. We're just lining up the overtime shot, but no overtime is coming. We win with 1 second left on the clock as a low light. That's about as clean as you can get. It's a balcony win. Well played by Magidor, though I'm not really sure it was like a deserved low light. I just can't figure out, at least with the quick game that we were running through, why we're
and
necessarily low lit.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first game win for missions win this match.
That sounds correct. I'll take your word on it here. We're moving on to Redwoods, which is another map you can definitely complete missions on. Gabrio's definitely been trying to complete missions, as has Magidor. Magidor's choices though of rushing and doing microfilm are really trying to like do things that are a bit more clever. What I want to see here, if we do get to, and we will get to game, no, we won't get to game 12 potentially. If we do get to game 12, it's just Magidor just taking it back to basics, just bug, BB, flirt, and figure out what the fourth mission is. But don't like give Gabrio the game away by doing a white microfilm in the front or something stupid. Let's watch some Gabrio Seek though. We need to win this to keep the set going because it's 6-4 down in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I wonder what Gabrio's idea is. What's your idea when you're down 6-4 and you're playing Redwoods? Like, if the party gives it to you, what do you want to be doing, Catnip?
Oh gosh, I wanna not be playing this map. In the first
Good
place.
answer.
But Banana Bread, probably microfilm and statue inspect. Yeah, statue inspects while being at books. That's probably my first thing. We're still under AI control, though.
This is
Um,
choice. So
I
AI
was
control is a strategy. It's actually one of the oldest strategies, and because we'll talk about I think 2012. Spy Party was at PAX, the big convention. Spy Party's been there every year until I think this year because it's no longer happening due to Corona. Uh, and the AI control happened in a game. It was known for. There was no reason why the sniper should ever have taken this shot, but they did. And that sniper is infamous Lieutenant Hummus of Spy Party hosting fame at this point. Gabrio
and
does
now
take control, and
Gabriel.
we're swapping.
Yes, I was about to say Gabrio is now being infamous for the swap, and I'm not sure if the laser did turn on us right after that, and I'm not sure if it was just check if there hasn't been a swap, or was there because Magicdoer noticed a swap. We are high lit, just for the statue visit, and we may have been being we may have we may be being watched. Words.
We're being watched, but I have a suspicion someone else is being watched more. Based on the highlights, it's us and Smallman. Smallman, as the lights were coming off, was also doing a briefcase. So if they go to, for example, to that red bookcase in the future, they're probably dead. The problem is we can't have that expectation as the spy because Smallman just picked up a drink, and that means his hands are going to be full for at least the moment. That is at least one sip from Smallman. I don't know if he did another one at the bar. Um, really, it's gonna need to be on Magicdoer to show pristine patience because Smallman shouldn't finish unless we're incredibly unlucky, and Gabrio shouldn't finish because we only have two people left who are even suspicious for the swap.
Yeah, and
Oh no! No! Don't give it to him!
I mean,
That wasn't
just
the
predict the
bookcase.
future
So
sometime.
we're gonna be hypercritical. This is gonna be 6-5. Magicdoer still can win this. The problem with this shot, oh no, is Smallman has already been to this statue, and he's also not part of this. Did he go to bookcase too? Actually, is this Smallman just done everything? Oh no.
May have
Oh no,
been. Let's
this
see.
doesn't make sense. He's already got inspects done.
Cat inspects at the red book, but he was at the statue
Yeah, but the
itself.
statue doesn't have the fingerprint. The fingerprint's on the middle, and Smallman already has like 4 inspects in pocket. Um, But he just doesn't want to let Smallman dance away, I assume is the big reason for
Yeah.
um
And the thing is, Smallman visited the statue we swapped before us, so in terms of overall logic, right, it's Redwoods. Of course you would pick Smallman, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
Gabrio's not been picking his spies or cast at all. Like his ambassadors have just been completely mixed. But
He
um
also did a buggable path.
yeah, I get the shot. Like
Yeah.
Smallman doing that, it's cruel. It's so cruel. But I think he already had to be credited with inspects. Like I think if that's gonna be the way that you lose the game, he's not gonna swap on you there. The swap's already happened, and maybe he missed like the first inspect or something like, and he really did think that maybe that was the third inspect. Or God, if Gabrio had gone to the bookcase and only done one inspect, for example, that would have been funky too. I hate it. This is Spy Party. Welcome to the worst parts of Spy Party, where you play well and you lose anyways.
I mean, we may not be losing it yet, right? So the score is 6-5.
Here we go with General, and we're gonna need to do something, maybe even do nothing. Like do nothing is an option here on Redwoods. People get shot, but we'll see what it's gonna be in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Magicdoer does need to win this if he wants to win the match, but
Oh, nasty bug. You can't
oh,
ask for better. You're playing
I didn't
General,
say
so your
nothing
bugs are
that it.
already good, and that bug does not land very often. The only reason that bug landed it was because of the weird path. And we're Hylet. Gabrio doesn't care. Gabrio thinks you're suspicious anyways.
I don't know if it says something more about the bug or about me, but I was looking at the spy from the spy's perspective, and I didn't notice a bug happened.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, it's general. Like, they already have potentially the best bug in the game at this point, after, like, the Papa Danger, Kane nerfs years ago. And it was just a really nasty walking bug, but we've eaten the highlight. I'd love to know, actually. I don't love asking people in chat necessarily, but Gabriel, is the highlight for the bug? You want to give us a bit of insight on that? Either way, Magicdoer is in a bit of a spot because I don't think you could possibly think that you have this suspicion, and he might play a bit too brazenly. Uh, Something like doing statue into double inspected a bookcase might just warrant a shot, and Magicdoer wouldn't necessarily know that he has that amount of suspicion that he shouldn't be using that as his main line of attack.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. It's sort of it's a weird position for Magicdoer to be in now because we do want to be not necessarily aggressive, but at least active in order to go ahead with the missions. But we also want to be a little bit idle to lower down that suspicion, or just to not cause any additional. And it's one of those where I think I would have the most problems to think of what do I do now.
We do have incentive to extend the game with both Irish and Kane both going to bookcases. Both of them are much more likely to get shot. This is going to be a double dip. We're picking up the bookcase first and then going in for the flirt, but it looks like Matador's gotten the action priorities correct. We're doing one inspect, and we should be fine to finish our inspects. We could walk away with the book, which I think is actually probably a correct thing to do, and Matador is going to do it. The nice thing about having this book is if the double agent tries to give us the cold shoulder for a minute, we at least still have the microfilm as a possibility.
Yeah.
Um, I think lining up the contacts is going to be the play, and then the big question becomes, will Gabrio shoot us for it? Oh no! Double
So
agent leaves immediately, and they're going to be doing briefcase here after the rocker picking up the briefcase would help us a lot. Okay, where's
there
double
we go.
agent going? Otherwise, we're going to have to do something like it's going to be the microfilm. Honestly, we had the book in hand, so we're not going to be able to do much. That's not helpful. We need Matador is unhappy, understandably so. They need to do microfilm. They have two choices. They can do the red bookcase, but that one's already taken. It's going to have to be blue bookcase. The impetus is now on Gabrio. Can you shoot for a microfilm? It's going to be a bit of overtime. He can shoot right for it. Gabrio
Yes,
takes the
okay.
shot, brings it back from 5-0 to 6-6.
Thanks.
It's not a
And
win.
at one point,
It's not a win
Gabriel
for Gabrio. We've seen
yeah,
bigger, but there's not much
I
that you can do
I
more than
think
this.
that's a moral win, at least to some sort of capacity. Because, like, right, like you just said, there was 5-0, and then Gabriel won 4 in a row in return.
Yeah.
So, yeah, especially after that um, beginning, after that first map and a little bit, 6-6 is a good morale boost. However it went.
Yeah, and when we looked at the picks and bans, like this wasn't unexpected. Like when you're in a not in like the severity of it, when you look at things like aquarium, balcony, redwoods, you're like and ballroom to note, spies and snipers can win both of those maps. We're not talking about 5 of 8s. We're not talking about stuff where like the better player wins, like terrace or something. These are volatile maps, and we saw as much volatility as you're gonna get.